So I was playing RedFall, roughly like an hour from it, and I just want to give you guys my experiences so far. It's not good. It is not good. And one of the reasons why it's not good to me, honestly, is because it's such a downgrade from what I've been expecting from Arkane Studios. They gave us Prey, which was fantastic. They gave us Dishonored series, which was fantastic. And they gave us Deathloop, which was not as good as the other two games I mentioned, but I would still say solid, like 7 out of 10. Still had its fun moments, had fun mechanics. This game feels so far removed from Arkane. Like aside from some of the design choices, like aesthetically, this feels so far removed from an Arkane Studios game that it could be literally anyone. And first and foremost, even from an artistic standpoint, it's a step down from everything they've done. This looks more like a Fortnite creative mode than any sort of Arkane Studio game. When it comes to the actual gameplay, there's nothing new here. Like most Arkane games, it's you have the sense of movement or fluidity with your abilities to like mix and match stuff, right? If you play Dishonored, you could teleport across, stab someone in the back and then like possess someone. Like you could do cool shit like that. In Prey, you could use your environment to your advantage. You had really creative guns too, like the glue gun, which was fantastic. Here, none of that creativity is in the actual game. It's just, here's a gun. What's the gun do? It shoots, but it can stagger people 25% quicker. Those little small game increments that no one gives a shit about. They had that in this game. Or here's a weapon that you can use to stick people. Okay, cool. Oh, this one will break stuff. So you have to find more weapons with stakes on it. Actually, no, here's a weapon with a class that will stick you can use no matter no problem. So I'm like, okay, so there isn't any sort of like creativity with the weapon choices, what I'm trying to get at. Even at higher levels, the weapons do not get more creative, they just do more damage, but that's it. And I really feel like they could have really leaned more into that. They could have did more of like a Borderlands type thing, where it's like, here's different weapon combinations. His weapons you can use that, shoot out garlic, do garlic damage, or these vampires, do UV damage, but it's just bullets. Just bullets flying. And then you have your character power set. Now, I played as Layla, so I didn't play as everyone else. I did my 2 hours of the game so far as Layla, and she does she's a telekinetic powers. But one is just creating an umbrella in front of her, and then it can absorb damage, physical damage, like from projectiles, and then you can send it back out. Another one is just an elevator you can use to lift yourself, and then the last one is she summons her vampire ex-boyfriend. There is no explanation to why you have powers, why your vampire boyfriend exists, how she can summon them, nothing like that. You just get powered after you hit like level, I think 3. And then in the game, they just say, oh yeah, I have powers. I probably should have left with that. But that's it. And I was like, again, they could be doing so much more there. Also, as far as the story goes, the presentation is garbage to me. There are no animated cutscenes. This is the studio who gave us Prey. And that intro, if you remember playing Prey, was fantastic. Big, epic, like sweeping music, like a huge vista you see while you're in a helicopter, you're flying through. That's what you got from there. Even with Dishonored, you had a great fucking intro, and it was animated. Dishonored 2, you had a whole attack scene. Dishonored 1, someone got fucking murdered. This one, it's just cutscenes of like storyboard. It's kind of like how they did in Infamous. Well, at least Infamous was a comic book game, so it kind of fits the style. This one, it just feels like they ran out of budget, and it was like, we're not going to do that. And then in-game, when you're talking to the NPCs, it's just mouth movement, kind of like this, and nothing really being animated. Which I guess would be fine for regular characters, but like these named NPCs who are part of your home base, there's nothing there.
Oh my god, I'm so glad you're okay.
I don't want to think about what would have happened if you hadn't shown up. I'm taking care of everyone here. Sick, injured, and everything in between. If you need medical supplies, come to me. But only take as much as you need.
And it just feels very, very, very bare bones. Like, simple concept. You play as one of 4, I guess, vampire hunters, and your job was to clear out the town of RedFall. That's it. There's nothing else going on there. You don't feel incentivized to go around exploring and finding things, because all you're going to find is just junk to salvage to get more guns. But there's nothing else there. It doesn't really reward you in any other significant way. And again, like I said, I'm only the first 2-3 hours in, but there's nothing here that makes me want to go further. It's the same feeling I have with Atomic Heart, where just I'll complete it just because that's how I am as a gamer. But like, there's nothing in the game itself. I'm like, I have to see what plays out. I have to see where the story ends or how the story unfolds. You don't really care. They don't really give you anything to care about. Now the combat is also very bad. It doesn't feel good at all. Just even swapping between weapons, you can't just push a button and you go to like your second weapon or third weapon. You have to scroll through them each time, which seems like, oh, not a big of a deal until you're in the middle of combat fighting against these vampires who can zip, zap, zippity bap, 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 all the way around, and you can't hit them, or you have to switch to appropriate weapon, and then taking time, you're getting shot, you're getting murdered. You can go down pretty quickly in the early game. No lie, you can get bodied very quickly. It's kind of annoying. But the combat just, it isn't there. And the mixture use of the guns and powers, something we've seen before in like a game like Bioshock, which works way better, this feels lacking here. Because again, a lot of the abilities that you have don't really seem conducive to actual combat as much as maybe playing as a squad. Because this game is supposed to be a 4-player co-op game, but you can play single player. I played single player, and I was not enjoying myself. And I think there's not much more I can say about this game. It's not fun. It just isn't. The AI is kind of stupid. There's a lot of technical issues with this game, like a lot of technical issues. And it just feels really uninspired, and it really sucks because Arkane Studios can do so much better than this because they've done so much better than this in the past. But as it stands now, this is just, I would say honestly, either get on Game Pass like I did and try it for yourself, or just skip it. You're not missing out if you don't play RedFall.